First bought the home, we knew there was a lot of potential, but it was almost daunting because we didn't really know where to start, and we also knew it would be rather costly. So one of the things that I appreciated with working with Rooney Landscape is that the plan came together. John and Dave came out, met with me, met with my husband. We designed the plan, and then we said, okay, well, we can't do this all at once. We need to do this in maybe a few steps, and that was not a problem at all. And they were able to put it together in steps that made sense. As far as, first we did some of the hardscaping, then we had to do some of the landscaping to get some of the rest of the hardscaping in. But because it was broken out into the smaller bits, it was a lot more palatable. It was easier to digest, having the different projects going occasionally versus all at once. All the guys seem to be really happy with their job, and they really like what they do, and I think that shows in the final product. And John Fitzgerald was out here every day making sure that the plants were being put in the right place and they were following the plan, and it came together beautifully. In other experiences that I've had, a project might look great initially, but then after a couple of months, like, things would start to sink or shift or change. And I think the fact that the Rooney Landscape crew takes such pride in what they do, I think it results in a better end product. And ultimately, when I pull up in my driveway, I want to pull up and be proud of my house and be happy to be coming home. And that's one of the things that I get by having Rooney Landscape take care of my needs. I can call the office and a person answers the phone, and that person usually knows me. They have an answer for me, or they can get me an answer. It's not that often that I have to call, but when I do, I know that I'll be taken care of. And I think that customer service is lacking in some other companies that are out there nowadays. And I think that additionally, if you look at, how do I say this? If you look at a company like Rooney Landscape, and you see the trucks everywhere, I mean, it's a good-sized company, and they do a lot of business and a lot of work. And I think that's primarily because people are happy with their experiences and then referring them. And of course, Rooney Landscape is growing along with it. But I think that sometimes maybe the initial thought from people would be like, oh, that's probably a little pricey. And it's really not. If you look at all of the different intangibles that you get from Rooney Landscape, primarily the customer service, and that there's going to be a quality job that's done, and that if there are any questions or anything that comes up that maybe weren't discussed or known about beforehand, that the problem solving is going to be there, that the task is going to be able to be completed, and you don't really have to worry about it from start to finish. You know that you're going to be taken care of. If there are any questions, you can have them answered very quickly and personally, which a lot of companies you don't really get that anymore. You get a person, or you're on hold, or nobody ever calls you back, and it can be really frustrating. We're all really busy. Everybody's working and has kids and running around doing stuff. We don't have time to be sitting on the phone waiting to find out a certain answer to something, where if you call Rooney Landscape, you get that answer right away. So, and Dave Rooney is, I can call Dave Rooney on the phone, and I know that he's going to call me back, or if not, pick up when I initially called. Same thing with John Fitzgerald. It's nice to have that personal touch, that customer facing touch, where other companies that I've interacted with in the past, I had no idea who the owner was. I had no idea who the crew was. I didn't know, but now I do, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about Rooney Landscape.